everybody, how's it going? Ben Gothard here, founder and CEO of Gothard Enterprises and author of CEO at 20, a little book for big dreams. So today I want to continue with my how to write a book series, or series is the right word, and I want to talk today about how there is not one right way of writing a book, right? This is just my way of doing it that I want to share with all of you. And I think it's important to recognize that in anything that you do, there's never going to be just one right thing, right? There's always going to be your approach to it, right? And so there are tons of different people who are very successful doing tons of different things, right? There are many different national best-selling authors. There are many different really, really successful entrepreneurs, and none of them took the exact same path. So what I'm trying to say is, take the bits and pieces of what I'm saying that really resonate with you, that you think could benefit you, and implement that into what you're doing, right? So let's jump right in. The first point that I want to make in the overall topic of there's not one right way of writing a book is to do what works best for you, right? Because this is your book that you're writing, okay? This is your book that you're writing, or this is your business that you're building. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever journey that you're on, it is your journey, right? My style and process may be different than yours, right? Try it, see how you like it, and then make changes to the process. Make it your own, right? Because if you go through the exact same steps that I go through, then you're probably going to get the exact same result. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But what I would encourage you to do is to learn from what I'm saying, take my process, take the steps that I've done, and make it your own, right? And so I'm actually going to share with you exactly how I write so much and get so much content out there a little bit later on in this video. And I really think that it can benefit a lot of you. So again, my style and process is going to be different than yours, or maybe different than yours. Again, try it, take the pieces of it that you want, and implement that into whatever you're doing. So I'm merely suggesting, based on having published 15 books of my own, a path of least resistance that has worked for me in my time as an author. Again, this is just what I've learned. This is the process that I put together in doing it so much. You know, I'm merely suggesting a path. Whether or not you want to follow it, that's totally up to you, right? So at the end of the day, you just have to do what makes the most sense for you, okay? So let's get into the nitty-gritty of exactly how I do it, right? And I think that it is going to be, you know, like when I tell you about it, you're going to be like, oh, wow, like that really makes a lot of sense, right? So I'm just going to jump right into it, okay? Instead of sitting down and just typing away at the computer, okay, this is what I do. I do video and audio recordings talking through each specific point that I want to get through, right, that I want to make in my book, like right now. Like I'm literally doing, as I'm telling you about it, I'm doing it, right? So I'm currently filming a video through each point that I want to talk through. That's the same thing that I do for each book, right? I do a video, I talk through it, right? And then I go back and I transcribe it, okay? So I do a video or record some audio, I go back and I transcribe it, okay? So that way I can talk in the manner that I'm most comfortable doing, and I can get out as much content as I want to get out over video or audio, and then I just write it down, right? And so a lot of people think when they're trying to write a book, oh, I'm not a good author. Okay, but you talk every day, you communicate with other people, you're capable of doing it. Get out your phone, do a voice recorder, and record yourself talking about whatever it is that you want to write a book on. Then go back later and transcribe it, right? Now you may be saying, I don't have time to go back and listen to the same thing that I just said and transcribe it. Okay, go to Upwork.com and type in transcribe or transcription. And you can find people, freelancers, who will transcribe your video or audio for you for as low as, and get this, $3.75 an hour. if you negotiate right. Okay? So a lot of these people are either in the Philippines or sometimes in India or around the globe, right? And so the currency exchange works to where that is a good amount of money to pay. That is a fair price to pay for their services, okay? So again, go and record what you're going to talk about, right? Like, let's say you're writing a book on how to eat healthier, okay? Well, just talk about it, transcribe it, and turn that into your book, right? So here's a few caveats though, right? You can't, I mean, you can if you want. I would not recommend just transcribing it and leaving it word for word because there is a difference between the written word and the spoken word, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if I was talking to somebody, I probably would say y'all because I'm from New Orleans. I'm from the South. That's just what I say, right? In a book, I say you all, okay? Like if I'm writing it, it would be you all, right? So it's important to really make sure you have that distinction down because if you want to be more colloquial in your book and you want it to be more of a talking conversational piece, great, leave it at that. I like to try to step up my professionalism. For another example, I tend to say gonna when I'm talking as opposed to going to when I'm writing, right? So it's just little things like that that you really have to keep in your mind. What's going on, Fred? How you doing, buddy? You just have to keep in your mind as you are going about doing this. So again, you're recording your self-talk or you're sitting down and typing, whatever works best for you, and either you are coming back and editing it or you're transcribing it, and voila, a 30-minute video can turn into 8 to 10 pages. It's as simple as that, right? And so that's a lot of the time what I do to get out a very rough draft, and then I go back and edit it again, turn it into from a speaking format into a written format, and just making sure that I'm editing it for that purpose, right? So the next point that I want to talk about is the time, right? So when do I write? Well, I like to spend, and what I always tell people when they first start writing is spend 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes right before you go to sleep. So right when you wake up and right before you go to sleep, okay? You're spending an hour a day writing, creating content. Eventually you're going to have a book, right? It may not be a national bestseller, but every day, if you write for 60 minutes, you will eventually have enough content to put together into a book. It's there, right? And so it's not a function of, can I write this book? It's a function of, am I going to take the time to write this book, right? There's a huge difference between the two of them. So I tend to write mostly in the morning. I tend to like to create more earlier on in the day because I'm fresh, more creative, and it's just a little easier for me to talk through the things I need to talk through, be more articulate, and get the creative juices flowing in the morning. Again, it may be different for you. You might like to start writing at 2 a.m. If that works for you, that works for you, right? That's fantastic. Do whatever you need to do in order to write that book, right? So, again, I like to take the mornings for more creative stuff, and then I tend to do more mindless, where I don't have to think as much, more monotonous type stuff, like the transcription. That would be more during the night, just to make sure I am most efficient with my time, right? So the next point that I want to talk about in writing a book is ghostwriting, which is paying somebody else to write your book for you or writing your own book, okay? And this, to me, is very, very, very important, okay? If you want to publish, and you just want to be a publisher, you don't want to be an author, ghostwrite all day. If you want to be a publisher and you don't care about having your name as the author, you can pay somebody to write it for you, and you can say you're the publisher and publish it. Great. However, if you are going to put your name on that book as the author, in my opinion, and this is opinion, I think you should be the one to write the book. I think if you're going to put your name on it and you're going to take credit for that work, you need to be the one creating the content. You need to be the one sitting down and writing that book. Because, it doesn't feel good taking credit for what others have written, right? And I got this question in one of the previous videos that I was doing of, do I pay somebody to ghostwrite my book? Again, if you want to be a publisher, publish it. Do not put your name on it if you did not write it, right? That's just what I think. Again, it's an opinion. Take that for what you will. That's just what I think, right? Another important piece of that is, let's say you start putting out books, and let's say you are paying somebody to write this book for you. Again, which if you're going to be an author, I don't recommend. Let's say your audience finds out, your readership finds out, and the truth is told. Why would they trust you after that? Why would they have any interest in what you write? Why wouldn't they just go read what the other person's writing? Okay, so again, ghostwriting versus writing your own book. If you're putting your name on it as the author, I truly think you need to be writing your own books. In all the books that I have my name on it, I have written them. And that is something that I'm going to continue doing. And that is something that, I'm very proud to say that I have done that, right? So, just remember, I think the takeaway from that point is that your reputation as an individual, as a business person, as an author, is more important than one product, more important than one book, okay? So it may be tempting to pay somebody to write a book for you and put your name on it and say, hey, I wrote a book, everybody. But at the end of the day, it's not going to work out for you, right? That's taking the easy route. That's taking the easy route of saying, hey, let me just pay somebody to write this book for me. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're going to put your name on it, if you're going to be the author, write it. Because, look, you can do it. It's scary at first, but you can absolutely do it, right? You take the time out, do the strategies that I just talked about again, of taking a video, recording yourself, and then transcribing it, right? That is so much easier for some people than just typing. Whatever you need to do to get that book written, do it, right? Don't resort to paying somebody to write a book for you to put your name on it. I don't think that's going to work out in the long run, because let's say somebody has a question for you about your book and you didn't write it, so you don't know every single line that's in that book. Well, if they question you about it and they're like, hey, what about this part and this piece over here, and where'd you get this and where'd you find out about that, and you don't have an answer, I mean, like, what the hell is that? Like, come on, if you're gonna write a book and you're gonna put your heart and soul into it, that's fantastic. That's something that you can be proud of, right? If you're looking to build a business as a publisher, that is also really cool. That takes a different skill set, right? You can, if you want to ghostwrite and publish under a pseudonym or a pen name, go for it. If you're gonna put your name on it, I very, very highly suggest that you write it yourself. So, again, there is not one way of writing a book. Whichever one makes the most sense to you, that is the one that you should do. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter how anybody else writes. All that matters is that at the end of the day, you're putting in the work to write the book. Whether you are taking a video of yourself, getting it transcribed, or whether you are sitting down and typing it all day long, it does not matter. What matters is that you do it, that you put forth the effort, that you give of yourself to this incredible, incredible thing that you're building. Okay? So I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.